Hello GSV peeps, Dangly Bob here, and you join me at a very exciting time in that I've mopped this little corner out that I was struggling with last time. Left this igneous rock here, and there's about 600 kilos of water down here, and it's just reached 100 degrees. Now, if that's what it takes to make steam, I've just taken out that block there, but this is at 101 degrees, it's still going up. Just wondering at what temperature will it... is that it there? Is it now just producing... Can't tell. Right, hang on, I need to press pause. See if I can catch... Right. That there is polluted oxygen, that's igneous rock. That there... Polluted oxygen at a... I want to know what that little square is. It's saying it's igneous rock, so where is that igneous rock coming from? Perhaps I need to do a high priority sweep in this area here. Perhaps that's just a graphics bug. But there does seem to be something happening there. But yeah, come on, I've got 600 kilograms of polluted water there. 600 kilograms, 6 tons. Yeah, anyway, seems an awful lot, but it does seem to be doing something. But I've got all this over here, and this is all in contact. Well, it will be in contact when I've dug down through here with this little lot. But I'm not. Maybe this is trying to produce. Well, it's not, because up here it's at 20 degrees. Right, let's crack on with that. Anyway, hello and welcome. Like I said, back to Oxygen Not Included. And in the last episode we were struggling to get... Oh, is that fracturing? It is, isn't it? Oh, well if that's going to fracture and bring the magma down here, that would help. Greater surface area, etc. I don't know what's going to happen with that little lot. Perhaps I need to sweep all of this. Come on guys, come down and sweep that little lot. Do need some more characters. And yeah, I built this little hut up here, so the idea was if it was going to produce steam would rise up here, perhaps, hopefully without condensing, but we'll see, and pool up here. But I think that's wishful thinking on my part. But something is happening down here. Is this steam? It's not. It's just saying it's carbon dioxide at 400 degrees C. Still doing that funny little graphics bluggy thing. Unless that is part of that fracturing, that's why we're getting a little bit of... We'll soon find out anyway. Right, let's leave that for the minute. The other thing I've just done, I haven't shown you in the last episode. Come on, it takes so long to scroll around the base nowadays. Come on. Bit laggy because I'm rendering in the background here, but yes, I've been up here where we were going up and up and up. Up to my other geyser here. I've slowly sort of going, I'm going to dig through here. I'm going to perhaps harness steam from the top here, perhaps box this lot in and say keep the water there and just take the steam off. Again, to be an absolute pipe and trying to get all this down through here. All this here is me trying to a little bit low on coal, as you can see. I seem to have lost my whatever it was up here, hatchling. There is one more down here, so he's producing coal down here, but yeah, not really. Haven't got that many hatchlings around, so I want to keep my coal generators going. Gonna reject all those. Keep all my coal generators going. I'm gonna keep going. My little experiment over here with the geyser is producing fresh water. That fresh water is going straight into the system here, just piping it out of here. As you can see, it's at a reasonable sort of, yeah, it's not actually 73 degrees, so actually the liquid oxygen coming out here is not doing a lot of cooling here. But I don't think I'm getting any, don't seem to be getting heat damage, but if this water gets any hotter, I could end up with some heat damage in various places, so have to keep an eye on that. It's a shame. I thought the liquid oxygen coming into there would do a lot more. As you can see, my oxygen production, though, yeah, it is doing something around here, this setup. I'll tell you what, we're going to take, let's deconstruct that and see if that cools it any more. So actually all this is not cooling it at all, because it's coming in here at about 10 degrees hotter than it's going out, which shouldn't be right, but we'll see. Also, what I was finding is I've got a scrubber down here, but actually all this is solid carbon dioxide caused by this coming down. So it's cooling the carbon dioxide down, it's not cooling the water down. I thought it would. Perhaps it's, I don't know, I mean the carbon, oxygen is here at about minus 33. It's just this interface here. Need to do something about that. Don't know, I'll either put a mesh in there, because the meshes don't tend to conduct. Unless I do it in wolframite or something. Well, thinking aloud again, rambling away. That pump down there hasn't been used for ages. What have we got? Just, oh, dear me, my guys are getting stressed out, something chronic. Do need, not very good at making these things. We have got, I'm going to make some snazzy suits actually, because I don't know, if we look at my vitals, the guys who are getting, let's see, it's Devon, Max and Ruby. So Max, if we look here, he's stepped in polluted water, he's in chilly surroundings, he needs a warm top. I think that's why his, at least, yeah, a warm or a snazzy top really. He thinks it's too chilly. So who's the other one? Devon's up the top here. Sort them into stress, shall we? Stress the other way. Yeah, Devon at the top here. Chilly surroundings, drab decor, sleeping. So maybe he's getting stressed out, probably because he's in chilly surroundings all the time. So he can't seem to get to a shower for some reason. So just click on this shower a minute. I don't understand what this little bar here is. Shower's made out of wolframite. Don't know. Might have to look that one up. So, are we cooling this water down any further? Water coming out of this pipe is still 74 degrees. Yeah. Not 100% sure that's working properly, but figure a different way of cooling the water down. I could build another one of these and cool it down that way, but obviously it would only have to be a little one. It wouldn't have to be this much, because this is, you know, getting temperatures down to yeah, whatever the oxygen's coming down to, 204. I certainly wouldn't want it. I don't even want to get it down, so perhaps even just a couple. Ooh, yeah. Perhaps I could just build 2 or 3 in here. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Perhaps I'll build projects is build just a couple of these gas regulators. I don't want to freeze the water, but if I put a hydrogen cooler in here, that would cool the water down perhaps better than this. I can think of something else to do with the liquid oxygen. Anyway, let's come down here and find out what's happening with my little puddle of water. Where are you? Is this steam? It is. It's produced steam. And it's just sat there quite nicely, not doing a lot. Right, well I need to introduce some more water. And I'm not sure how the best way of introducing just a tad of water is. could be we just... If I deconstruct that, will it let too much in? Do I just build across here? Oh, let's go for a big dig. And we'll do that. See what happens with that. We'll just dribble a little bit of water in and then keep taking this layer down, down, down until I don't know what's going to happen with this steam. Yeah, this area is perhaps not the best one to work it on, because if unless again, well, it's all of this. It's because all of this is at minus 272. Unless I build a thermal layer around it and then just leave the magma on the bottom, I could dig down, keep removing this, keep flooding it with water, and so build a thermal layer around there, give me a bit of here, except it, and then try and keep it, I don't know, it seems a bit faffy to me. It's sort of in the wrong point. Over here would be a lot better because there's a lot more surface area in with this. And even down here, if I dug the absolite out, so that might be the better way to go. But of course I've got too much water in here, I can't reach this now, so let's see what happens when we do this anyway. What I want to know is, can I get this steam to rise out through this hole? If I can collect it in this area here, that would be great. I could perhaps pump it somewhere with a insulated pipe. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it once I've got it, but steam I can use for heating. And I wonder if steam works in the same way. Possibly not. If you warm it up, will it cool down? Or will it stay as steam in the same way I'm using hydrogen? Come on, little bod, come out. Get out. There we go. Right. That'll just drop a little bit of water down there. And we'll come down here and drop a little water in here. Like that. That's all I want, just a little. About 6 kilograms in there before, didn't I? So that should be fine. Let's see what happens with this steam. The steam is still heating up, which is good. Actually, if I make it, don't know what temperature I can get steam up to, but the hotter I can get it, the better I can, better chance I get to keep it somewhere else. I'm not too sure where steam will sit. Nice, yes. It's coming up to here. Will it stay there? Will it get to my little reception facility? Or would I'm quite happy to build a reception facility in here, but there we go. We'll leave that and come back to it. I'll try and stop this going in there, maybe, but I've got a little bit of steam. It's about 10 kilos in each square-ish. I can see what's happening here is some of this is condensing. I'm getting some fresh water in here, which means the steam's condensing and it's filled up my little hole again. I thought I'd probably stop the steam condensing process at this point. So what I could do is build something in here to take the steam out. It's what do I do with it when I start pumping it out? I want to take it somewhere, stick it in. I don't know. I must have had an idea of what to do with the steam once I started producing it. But What was I going to do with the steam? Well, obviously steam produces clean water, so I could just feed it, except I'm still producing, well, dirty water, I can use the whole of dirty water and produce lots of fertiliser. So do I just build a big fresh water tank somewhere? Put the steam into there, or will I just put it into, you know, can I make a steam bank? Probably not, it'll probably condense. But let's pump it. It's got to come to, well, yeah, anywhere of these, if I start melting contaminated water, I'm just going to get contaminated water. I need to probably need to build a tank from scratch. Well, let's just build a tank down here for the minute and put fresh water in it. So, let me put... Oh, I don't know. Perhaps I'll just let it continue for the moment, see how much steam we get in here. Once it starts heating this lot up, it's condensing around here, see. We've just got a closed loop cycle here. It seems to be producing steam and then condensing it down here as well. Oh, we'll leave that going for the minute. See what happens. Very long. This is filling more and more with water. The water down here is at about 40 degrees and doesn't seem to be getting hotter. All my steam seems to have disappeared, so I think it's all cooled down and turned back in. So this here is not particularly effective. I can't, I could control the water slightly better to get down in here, but this interface is just too small. Now whether these neutronium sides are cooling it down, I don't know. If you can get the steam past it, it seems to be up here and then cool down up here. It's, the polluted oxygen's got a little bit warmer because the steam's been up here, but it's not enough to keep it steam. So if I knock down this wall here, I want to work around this area here. Now it could be I've got to get rid of all this water, which to be honest is going to take a little while. I'll build a little power plant, stick a couple of pumps in, and actually I probably could stick it all up into here and keep this as a water tank. I could tidy it up a bit, take a little bit more out, but this, if I turn this into a dirty water tank, I can use it to feed my steam area down here. So that's my plan. So we're going to deconstruct that and bring it all down into here. Just basically flood this little area, and then I can always use this side, and then perhaps get this, pump it. I think not too sure how much it'll level out. I think this will still end up being lower. But at least by flooding this area here, I'll be able to get down here and work down here with a bit of luck. So there it goes. Oh, I'm getting rid of that. No. Cancel. Oh, too late. Let's put... Yeah, I didn't want to get rid of my little... One of them back in again. Come on, water. Let it all even out. Can always take a section out of here and rebuild it. Might do that anyway. this area around here as well, just to so a little bit more fluid space here. It's getting very stressed out again, but Ruby, let's have a quick look at Ruby, find out why she's getting stressed. She's tired, she's in chilly surroundings, stepped in grimy polluted water. I need some... Anybody who's chilly, I need some warm clothing. What are we doing? Got these plants here. They're actually growing this time. Loads of thimblereeds up here. If I run out of seeds, I'll just have to harvest a few of these which aren't growing. I could use some warm space heater and warm these up, but to be honest, I'm probably a bit low on power. Well, let's do that. We haven't used a space heater, so there we go. Space heater. Make it out of gold amalgam. Now, it needs to be on the ground. So we'll just plug it in there. And we'll just run a wire across to it. Power. Heavy watt power. Bit of wolframite left. Don't want to use wolframite. I seem to have used up all my wolframite. I'll have to go on a wolframite hunt. Let that build itself. In fact, I have found a load of cold biomes. Could go, there's some in there. Okay guys, come on. Let's go hunt for a bit of a wolframite. I won't dig that one out, do I? Cancel dig. Go on. Then we'll build tile there and there, and dig out that. At some point I'm going to need some more wolframite anyway, and I seem to have mistakenly built on a load of stuff out of it. It's a pity, perhaps, they don't... Oh, you've just gone down with the... Just got sick, haven't you? Got the spores. So, what was I doing? Yes, so, no, well, I was talking about, it'd be nice if perhaps if we built the machinery and the machinery took on the colour of the material that it was being built with. So, for instance, this one here, the air scrubber, the only way I can tell what it's made out of is by clicking on it, clicking on energy details. You see, primary element there. It's a bit of a, there we go, for some reason I've made that out of wolframite. And it's a little bit of a hassle just to have to click on each item, particularly if you're making walls. That's each tile. So I'll let them dig out that little bit of wolframite there. We'll go for a hunt for a bit more. Don't think there's any more up here. Lots of weezeworts around. Brilliant. Found them to be particularly effective as such, but you know, seed's not growing yet. Just come and have a look. Come on, down here. Great, get down to a level here where we can bust through here. Now I'm going to have to move this water, definitely. So dig this section out. Let's prioritise all this down here. Once this water level's, I'll look at pumping it out maybe. Certainly pump it up there. just thinking of the uses for steam. Well, you can heat stuff up with it. It's a good way of purifying polluted water. That's definitely confirmed now. Let's sort that out of this. Say it's been confirmed, but I dumped a load of, well, it probably wasn't a lot, but somewhere around here. Is that? Oh, there we go. There's some water there. Excuse me, frog in my throat again. That's not going to help if you keep throwing up in it, guys. But yes, I can... It'd be nice to have a steam generator, because at the moment your generators all consume resources. Now, admittedly, water is a resource, but there is tons of it. If you use it, you can use the steam to melt ice. Ice then produces water. So water isn't the problem. Oxygen isn't a problem at the moment. Sand, the only thing I'm using sand for really is the purifier, and okay, I am using a sand, one of these things, air purifier here, hopefully just to try and keep these guys, you know, in a non-polluted atmosphere, but that doesn't seem to be working. But, keep it going. It's looking okay. Deconstruct that. It's not. No, we'll deconstruct it. I have going to build some more of these. Nope, somebody throwing a wobbly. Oh, dear. See, look at this. Don't ask me where the .09 comes from, but bristle blossoms are the new mealwoods. You know, you can't do a lot with mealwood seed. It's no longer replenishable. Bristle blossoms are. There's my little hatchling. Seems to be the only one. Have you eaten all that food already? Or have we done something useful like pack it away? It's not very useful, is it? Yeah, sorry. Tablet's looking alright. Okay, so we want Otto, Max, Ren, Harold, Lyra. Otto, Max. What would be really useful as well would be a way to perhaps click on their vitals and say, you know, send to massage table or something. You could do a right hand click there, or a pull down menu or something. Otto, Ren, can't remember who else was it. Ruby, Devon, Otto, Rowan, Lyra. Let's just send everybody. So I'm going to do this and then bring you back. GSV peeps, it's Dangly Bob here, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Involved. And yeah, here we are. I'm struggling to... Steam, the only thing you seem to need to use steam for is actually it's producing, you can produce steam and it produces clear water. But what I was rather hoping to do is use steam perhaps to heat up polluted water so I could cleanse this. What does seem to happen is that this steam is actually making this water. There's some steam here, and it is actually making some of this into water, just in the general area of the geyser here, but it's also producing, I don't know if that dirt was there or not, but I think it wasn't. That's why there's a buried object in there, because I dug it out and I made it. The other problem I had down here with a magma was something, where is it, down here, was something similar. Ooh, look at that, hang on. Why is that? Oh, it's overheating. Why is that overheating? What's it made out of? No, details. It's made out of gold amalgam, but I can only make things out of gold amalgam. Amalgam. Why? Just now this wasn't producing any steam whatsoever because it seemed to be waterlogged. Also you notice, well same with this, once we started cooling this lot, it's just starting to go down now. So as soon as that gets down to below 1400-ish, it turns into this igneous rock. Now the igneous rock is still hot because that's what I'm using to create the steam here. But here you can see it's going down, it's now down at 700. Go on, go down one more, yeah. So, you know, producing steam does actually use up the heat. Now whether we stop, does it heat back up again? I don't know. I was hoping to pump... Not pumping, that's not even that building. What I was rather hoping to do is to take this steam and shove it into here. I might have a pool of fresh water to figure out what I'm going to do with it. There we go. So off it goes. And the steam comes up here. Should we go on the gas overlay? These light blocks. And it's just condensing in here. I'll put a little block in here, help to build this, but also it gives it something to condense on. I'm hoping it's condensing on the side of the walls. Nothing is sort of getting out this little hole here at the moment, but I can always block that up with a... except that gas pressure would build in here then. We do seem to get some sort of water generation here. But this has now stopped producing steam. I didn't know whether it's because it is waterlogged down here now. Perhaps I needed to... I've got this pump here just reducing the pressure in here because otherwise this thing wouldn't go at all. Okay, so that's just producing, that's just pumping out now stuff. There is no steam from here. So we're going to disable that building again. As you can see, it's not as easy. I thought we'd just drop water onto it. And I'm going to mop that area there. Get rid of that water. Excuse me. Come on guys, come down and mop. Of course they're going to go to sleep now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just break off a pipe here. Just to do a bit of an experiment, see if it'll produce steam if I dribble water onto it. So we'll put a liquid pipe from here across to here. And we'll just deconstruct that pipe in there. And we'll stick a liquid vent in there. See, now this is producing steam again. Enable building. Where's this liquid coming from? Why does it keep popping up? Don't know. Come on guys, turn this on. There we go. Right, so there's lots of steam there now. I don't know what's caused it, but perhaps it's because it's being disturbed, so I do need to dribble the water in rather than let it sit. So let's build a wall there. Let's watch the steam up here. Build a wall there, prioritise it. I'll go for an 8 there, prioritise that as well. And we'll just cancel the mop order on that. There's plenty of water going in there, but most of it's condensing out before it even gets in here. Come on, pump. Oh, now we run out of power. Come on. Don't know what's going on with the pump up there. Yeah, cheers. A bit of chlorine in there. How did I get in there? Where did it come from? Now because all this steam is condensing in here, it seems to be filling this up. seems to get more water out of it than you'd put in the first place. Which, okay, it's a water generator, but... And it's stopped again now. Gonna generate some more? No, okay, we'll go back into mopping then. Perhaps it was the mopping that disturbed it enough to let it generate. Problem is, it doesn't seem... See this carbon dioxide here. Come on. Let's go and find out what's happening with the power, shall we? So, up here. Don't know if it's... I didn't keep an eye on it here. Is this being... Duplicate surveillance, yeah, circuits, but my circuit is starting to be overloaded. I need to split the circuit. And to do that, I probably need to put... How are we doing for... Right, let's turn that off at the minute. What else is on that? All this is on this circuit here. Let's have a quick look at my circuit overlay. So yeah, so I've split that. All that is on this circuit. So here we've got some generators. Well, it's only becoming a bit overloaded. I could take these off. They could go onto their own. You know, I could put a couple of mouse wheels up here, get them to generate a couple of batteries. Starting to put batteries in the middle here just to try and raise the temperature a bit, but that building's disabled. Let's come out of power view. So yeah, basically I've got loads of pumps here. It just seems to be no power. So why are the batteries full when else are they? Oh, they're empty. So these guys need to get on and power these batteries. Okay, let's turn. How much coal have we got? Consumable ore, not a lot. Okay, I need to get some more coal. Keep my coal generators going. Yeah, even these aren't particularly doing much. I've got three wheels going to generate electricity there. But once they start getting too many wheels... Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat tonight. Yes, the other thing I was doing is that this is pretty much providing all the water I need for this. So all my polluted water, which is sort of overflowing, you know, puke and wee and stuff, is all pooling down here. So I'm digging this little, so I can just dump it. And once I dump it, it'll get dumped down here, and I don't know where it'll find its way down to, but possibly down here. That's my big stash at the moment, and then if that overflows it's going to end up down here, which is partly why I blocked this in, because I didn't want it coming down here too soon. The whole point of this was to produce fresh water, perhaps just stow it somewhere, but... Right, so... I don't know. There's no mop order there now, so I'm assuming they've got... So if I enable that... So they've gone to sleep again. So I have a large pool of water here, a little pool of water here. Going to dribble this into here, see if that disturbs this enough to make it. But as you can see, it's losing temperature. Okay, there's lots down here. So whether I just make it bigger and keep coming down this way. So that seems to be the way to do it then. Come on. Produce more. Need more electricity. Come on, get into it. We are getting it overheating. So quick look at the plumbing. I can't think of any way that I'd want to cool, or how I can cool that down. Look at this. It overheats at 125. That's the problem. So I need to keep the steam at less than 125, or I need to find some way of boosting that. And I make a gas pump. I can try making. Let's make one out of iron ore. Just put it in there for a minute. A bubble of chlorine went up there. Interesting. Right, let's make that a 9. See what the overheat temperature for an iron one is. What other choices do I have? Ah, I can make it out of wolframite. Perhaps I need wolframite. Right, I need to go and find some wolframite. Luckily there is... I'll find some up here somewhere. Right, I'll bring it back. I'm going to find some wolframite, make a couple of pumps. May find out which one's the best one for... Look at the iron one here, you see, overheat temperature 75. That's rubbish, so let's deconstruct that one straight away. We'll make a wolframite one. And then we've got to sort out that power as well. So I need some wolframite, and I probably need to find some coal. There's lots of coal around, I just need to go and mine it. Bring you back in a bit. Okay, I thought we'd bring you back. Just a bit of plan here. I'm going to build this, make this a bigger tank here, maybe put some wolframite mesh tiles in or something that sort of conducts, heat really quickly. Perhaps that'll convince the steam to work a little quicker. But this is a wolframite pump, and yeah, it's what we got here. Its overheat temperature is still 75, which is ridiculous. So that can get rid of that and go back to. It's got to be the gold algae, because it gives it a +5 overheat temperature. But I don't understand quite why gold is better than. I've got no choice at the moment. We've got here, yeah, deconstruct. Who's that one? Gas pump, energy, details. Yes, that's made out of wolframite. Just checking. Yeah, 75 real-time temperature. So it's got to be the gold one. Perhaps I need to take it one up so the temperature isn't. It's producing some steam. Seems to be producing too much liquid down here now and not actually producing any. It's filled it up and it's not producing any stuff, steam. Anyway, so to power, no, plumbing, down the bottom, the gas pump. I want to make it out of gold this time then. Further up, we'll give it some wire, make that a gold as well, and I'm going to have to raise a ladder to get to it, so I'll make all this a priority 9. then because this... do that. Make that a little bit bigger. I mean, something is producing water around here. Not too sure what. Can't do that. Can't do that. Construct. Cancel build. To make these two. Cheers, guys. Alright. Let's go for a mop in here then. And we'll start again. Let's just hope it won't though, it won't lose. It's getting quite, it's getting too hot. How do I... I mean, I could just build some gas-proof thing across here, drip water in underneath it, gas layer, steam comes through it, condenses on top of it. That's where you get your water from. I think that's probably the easiest way rather than trying to pump it out into somewhere else. It's just a little bit too involved. And we haven't quite got the gas pumps that can hold the temperature. So yeah, pumping magma anyway, forget that. Right, the other thing I was going to show you while we're just clearing that up again, I might experiment once more. Does seem to be easier ways. I mean, this is the easiest way of producing water. How that contaminated bit? Has that always been there? I don't know. Bit of chlorine trap there. But anyway, yes, this is definitely the best way of producing fresh water. A couple of geysers, finding some way of cooling it down, and I know the other thing I was perhaps going to try and do is cool this, pump it around, see if I don't know what temperature I can cool. I'll have to look that up. What temperature can I cool hydrogen down before it becomes a liquid? To use the same mechanic. So yes, up here. That is cooling. What am I talking about? Yes. So this little thing up here, this doesn't produce steam. I can't produce steam from here. What it does is it condenses almost immediately. So the idea of filling this up with steam and then transporting it somewhere else, no, that's not going to work. But that, as far as I know, the only thing for doing steam at the moment is I can keep pumping polluted oxygen into here, and perhaps the heat will make that into... No, it won't. Forget that. I don't know what I'm talking about. This here is, is not going to fill it with steam. That's my main point. But I don't think I'm going to purify polluted oxygen by pumping it into here either. But having said that, this lump of polluted dirt did appear from somewhere. And the other thing to note is, as I was coming up here, I've got some more of this nitronium. So I'm guessing I'm just going to build a ladder up through here. But this is the top of the world. So there is no surface, there is no way of getting out. You are in a limited world. We know that the map has a limit sideways. I've just about found it over there. There we go. Neutronium here. And presumably it's the same the other side. So we have mined out to the extent of the map. So the game has a finite life, because if you do use up all the water, it'd be interesting to know how far we could go. But yeah, they're not growing too much. It's too cold. Everything is too cold. Played maps like this before and it's been way too hot. But yeah. Right, so they built that. Just waiting to come on. Find some more consumable ore, we're down to 1600. I need some more coal. So I'll find some more coal. But there's a few things I can build to play around with. But now the game has sort of shown me its edges. Let's come down here. Let's dig out that. Start coming down here. Yeah, so now the game has shown me its edges. You know there's going to be a finite to it, because you just can't go any further. I'll leave it at that for the minute, come and get the rest later. I need to dig that out so they can get there. So I'm going to probably call it quits there for this video. And a couple more experiment, build a couple of things, have a bit of a play, and I will catch you all back in the next one. Thanks for joining. Bye.